Hi, welcome to another plotaroute.com tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Make Me a Route feature, which automatically generates routes for you. You just need to say where you want to start and how long you want your route to be, and it will come up with a list of routes for you to choose from. You can access the Make Me a Route feature from the menus, or by clicking on the toolkit icon in the route planner. We'll begin by locating the start point. We're going to start from a car park in Richmond Park near Kingston upon Thames, so we'll type Kingston in the place search box. Now we need to click on the map where we want the route to start. We can then drag the start marker if we need to move it slightly. Next, we can look at the other settings. I'll explain the difference between simple and advanced modes in a moment. We want to make routes for cycling, so we'll choose that option. Then we'll choose how long we'd like the routes to be. I'm going to ask for routes about 10 miles long. By default, the Make Me a Route feature will make circular routes, but we can also choose to make A to B routes. For example, a 15-mile route from home to work. When you select A to B routes, you'll notice that a second marker is added to the map, which you can drag to the location where you want the routes to finish. As you drag this, the distance counter will show you the route distance as the crow flies. This is helpful to gauge how far from the start you can go, given how long you want the routes to be. For this example though, we're going to go for circular routes. The next option is to add a via point. Adding a via point makes the route generator produce routes that go through this point. It might be a cafe where you want to stop for refreshments, or simply a point on the map in the general direction that you want to head. When you select this option, another marker labelled C is added to the map. You just need to drag it to where you want the route to pass through. If we switch to advanced mode, there are some additional options available which are particularly useful when generating routes for cycling. First, we can choose to only use paved roads and paths. This is useful if we want routes we can cycle with a road bike. Next, we can ask it to try to avoid hillier routes and favour easier gradients. Obviously, if you live in a very hilly area, this may not be possible, but where alternative paths are available, it will favour the less hillier options. We'll leave it set to OK so that hills are not avoided. Lastly, we can add our own custom roadblocks to the map to highlight any roads that we definitely want to avoid. I know there's a cycleway alongside the A3 that I would prefer not to use, so I'm going to add one there. We can see this on the paths map. To avoid this path, I just need to click on it to add the roadblock. A roadblock symbol is then displayed on the map and the path is added to the avoid list here. We can then add more roadblocks to the list by clicking on more roads. To remove them, we can either click on the symbols on the map or click on the remove icon next to the road name on the avoid list. Okay, we've chosen all the options we want, so now we'll click on the Make Routes button to generate the routes. The route planner will search around the start point in different directions, attempting to make routes that are around 10 miles long using the settings that we chose. We can see the progress here. If you don't want to wait for it to finish, you can stop it part way through if you like, and it will display any routes that have been generated to that point. Once it's done, we get a list of options to choose from. The route closest to the length we wanted is shown at the top and is the one initially shown on the map. We can preview any of the other options by clicking on them in the list. You can also compare how hilly the different options are by looking at the total ascents. Once we've chosen the one we like, we click Accept Route and the detailed route will be loaded up for us along with the directions. We can then print it out, download it, or save it so that we can share it and come back to it later. If you want to make any changes to the route, I recommend using the Replot section feature, which you can access by clicking on the toolkit icon. Select Auto Plot by road or on foot, and then select the start and end points of the section you want to change. Then simply drag the dashed line to adjust the route, dragging it to create waypoints that you want the route to pass through. You can also go back and choose one of the other generated routes by clicking the Make Me a Route button again. That's it. Have fun making routes and check out the forums for more help and advice.